Greetings, trainees at Snare Creative. I very much welcome you all, and today it is time for you to think about multi-platform media campaigns, as you have been selected as the newest members of our multi-platform campaign for a local organisation. However, you may not know fully as to what makes a successful multi-platform media campaign. Well, you're about to find out with two examples. The first example is only to 2016. That year saw Google launch a campaign that reached 1.8 billion people in 142 countries. This is a great example of what makes a successful media campaign, and there are many reasons as to why it was so successful. Firstly is that it kept users engaged for an average of 3 minutes. If you want to keep your campaign being constantly popular once you have gained an audience, you will need to keep them informed of what is going on. And that will result in not only a consistent number of supporters, but it can also catch more attention, which results in a growing audience as well. However, for that great success to happen, you need to be able to get across multiple platforms. That's when we go to the second point of what makes a successful multi-platform media campaign, and easily the most important point. What made Google's campaign manage to reach 1.8 billion people was that because it's a billion-dollar company, Google is being followed on many different social media apps such as Twitter and Instagram, and with them Google can post constant updates of what is going on in the Olympics and can excite and give the Olympics more attention to teens and a younger audience, which is who this campaign is mainly targeted to. This can also be evident with the introduction of Googans, cartoon characters that help to keep kids both entertained but also educated with info with the characters. Use of multiple forms of social media helps link with the first point that not only is the audience you have created all being informed, but with most using social media daily, it helps to spark a growth in popularity. Eventually, this popularity will become so popular that it will get the attention of celebrities. This leads to the third point, which is not only getting celebrities' attention, such as this campaign with J.K. Rowling, but also using that as an advantage by using that to help advertise your campaign, which is another way of helping to boost popularity. In fact, the campaign is such a massive real-time response, it created over 200 stories and spanned all of the 17 days of the competition. With all of these steps to success combined together, it had twice as much reach as any of the Olympic sponsors. Due to Google being the most used search engine, they cleverly put this campaign in search with the Googans living through there, and if you had searched the Olympics up, you would have had the most recent news and or facts appear in the middle of the search bar. We now turn to another campaign, and another one in 2016, one that is political and one that you may be still surprised as to how it was still successful in the first place. This of course being Donald Trump's campaign of Make America Great Again. But let's take a look and analyse carefully. Firstly, like Google's campaign, this campaign was put throughout all over social media, the most used being Twitter, which is still being frequently used by him today. The success of this is that, while it's being very controversial, like Google, it is keeping followers constantly updated, and with politicians being able to exaggerate and tell fake stories, they can say nothing but positivity to help make supporters believe that Trump's campaign is going well. And with Trump's famous line of fake news, it helps push supporters' belief that what Trump says is fully true. There was also a $2 million investment on Facebook for his adverts, so there will be, whilst not as much, quite a lot of attention and updates to supporters who use Facebook every day. As well as that, Trump knew his target audience. Many of his supporters are blue-collar men between the ages of 25 to 34. Many of them are single, college-educated, and mid to low income earners. This is why one of the promises made by Trump is to bring manufacturing jobs back, along with importing tariffs, which means tax, and cutting taxes as well. Because Trump doesn't speak complicated and instead says simple statements that he knows many will want to hear, it helps bring him to popularity, and many of these statements will also appear on other types of media platforms such as TV, newspapers and magazines, which will help gain the attention of elders and those who don't use social media. However, I have only mentioned one of the promises made by Trump. It wasn't even one that are the most important when it came to the success of Trump. Those that were linked with recent problems and events like 9/11, Osama bin Laden, and recent attacks done by ISIS, which make many Americans believe that all Muslims are terrorists, which increases xenophobia. This leads to Trump's promise of temporarily banning Muslims and bombing or taking the oil from ISIS. This will help make him popular to those who have a very right-wing agenda by believing that this will help solve America's recent terrorist and immigration problem. This can be seen even more with Trump's most infamous promise, building a wall to stop Mexicans. Now that would already be racist and bad enough, but it gets even worse by letting Mexicans pay for that wall, and even described Mexican migrants who came to the US as rapists and murderers. For most people it would seem as a failed campaign, but as I have mentioned, there have been many recent immigration problems, so many will become desperate for any candidate to address this problem, and will easily vote for that candidate. Another example of Trump's success is that in order for supporters to have a strong candidate, there needs to be someone who is strong and powerful, and Trump achieves this by attacking opponents or insulting previous leaders, such as when Trump cancelled and replaced Obamacare, and takes care of many of the problems that Obama apparently caused, such as making many trade agreements that caused, along with Obamacare, increase in tax, and therefore Trump decided to renegotiate or cancel any trade agreements. Along with believing that renegotiating the Iran deal to stop terrorism, which Americans who have a simpler mind will agree with, and also happen to be his main audience. Along with merchandise such as his hats that have his phrase, "Make America Great Again," Donald Trump has used that and all the other reasons mentioned above to help make his campaign one of the most successful and memorable in recent years. So with these two campaigns, I hope that you get a better understanding as to what makes a successful multi-platform media campaign, so that you could be the absolute best employees at Snare Creative. Good luck, and I, along with many others, wish you the absolute best.